Hey guys, how you doing tonight? This is Bear with Bear's Den Acrylic Art, back with another painting video. So in front of me I have a 24 by 36 canvas that has been the bane of my existence. This will be the third time I am attempting to get a successful painting from this canvas, and I don't know, this palette has been tough to crack, but we're persisting. Sage green was the inspiration for this, and this is the last addition to my Gears series. This is my last 24 by 36 that I have a frame for, so I wanted to do the sage, and it has been a tough palette to crack. So I've made some adjustments, and we've got a good mix of darker and lighter colors. Some are a little bit more washed out, but hopefully it's gonna come together nicely. Now, as you can see, I have in pencil mapped out my composition that I am going to now flood. This side closest to me is going to be the sage green. In the center is going to be titanium white. So let me do that, and then I will be back so we can talk about colors. So see you in a couple minutes. All right, my friends, thank you so much for sticking around. As you can see, the base has been flooded with this really pretty soft sage green that has a bunch of stuff in it. Just because this canvas has been scraped twice. So I mean there's the whole kitchen sink in here, but it's mostly green. But we're gonna press on. So the first color I'm gonna put down, and we're just gonna follow the seam. This is Payne's Gray by Liquitex. Because green and gray go well together, period. And because, you know, sage is a silvery gray green, all the better. But I'm not putting down a huge, you know, bead of this. Although I could stand to even it out a little bit here. All right. So the next color, I'm going to put down a little bit, and I hope I have enough. I'm just recalling I forgot to mix more. This is Olive Green Deep by Amsterdam. Which is a really nice, deep, rich color. And I should have just enough. Excellent. All right, next, this, you can't see it because it's in a cup, but this is like a custom, like a dusty rose that I made by mixing some pink, some violet, and some iridescent graphite. Because I didn't want something, you know, so bold as like straight violet or, you know, an amethyst type of purple. I wanted something that was a little more washed out, that would fit the palette. All right, next, this in this little cup, this is Champagne Gold mixed with Iridescent Bronze. So it's the Deco Art Extreme Sheen Champagne Gold mixed with the Iridescent Bronze to richen it up. Because my plan is to use, I've got this really great champagne gold metal leafing. So the plan is to use that if I can. All right, next, this is Unbleached Titanium. Which is usually good for some cell activity, especially with a metallic underneath it. All right, this is Oxide Yellow by Arteza. And then we got one more. All right, for the final color, Naples Yellow by Liquitex. And I really like the Liquitex Naples Yellow because it's actually closer to like a Naples Yellow Deep. So it's just slightly richer. All right. So we will go in and torch. So we will pick Drew up off the floor. And I'm gonna start right here in this corner, work my way that way, and come back. Fingers crossed, because this has been scraped more than once, and I don't wanna have to do it again.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times,
shape just wasn't working for me. All right, I think this finally did it. I think this is the one that works. Thank God. There is some really, really great lacing. You know, we've got this big old pop-up cell right here. And the whole reason I mixed the Champagne Gold with the Iridescent Bronze was to try to mitigate how cell reactive it is, because it's an extreme sheen, and we all know how reactive those paints are. So I am going to fiddle, because it's me. There are a couple shapes I want to see if I can get to move, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean up my edges, and I will bring you in for the wet results, because this looks really good. So I'll see you down here in just a minute. All right, my friends, here are the wet results. Pardon the glare as always. Now, you see how that pop-up cell grew just in a couple minutes? But if we go back to where we started this little blowout, I mean, you can see, well, that glare is terrible, but you can see there's some really, really great lacing details, okay? That Naples Yellow, I love that right there with the Oxide Yellow next to the Naples. And with the olive green and the dusty rose, I just think over the Payne's gray, it looks really, really nice. Some great lacing throughout. I love that right there. It's just really soft, you know, like the colors aren't particularly loud, but it still has a vibrancy all its own. I do wish I didn't get quite so much base coat right there, and I tried, you know, there's nothing underneath it, so, oh well. You know, maybe one of the gears or something will go there. But overall, I am really happy with how this went, finally. So fingers crossed it dries well, because if it doesn't, I am just going to take this out to the dumpster and burn it. So hopefully we don't have to do that. So let's check back in a couple days. Here are the dry results, and I have to say, this dried really, really well. Really, really well. The only regret that I have is using that champagne vinegar, because man, that mixed with the Iridescent Bronze became really, really, really prominent. A little too much, but I mean, look at that little lacing bit right there. You know, it's just a little too strong for my liking. So I was brainstorming, and what I decided to finally try, all right, so I have this super heavy gesso, all right, from Liquitex that I picked up a while ago at Jerry's. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm still going to do the gears, but I'm going to make them much, much smaller. And then using the gesso and a technique from AB Creative's channel, her stuff is freaking amazing. I'm still going to do the Champagne Gold gears, but I'm going to use the gesso to pipe on some flowers for like an impasto 3D look. I'm still working that out, but I think that's my working plan. So what I'm going to do first is get the metal leafing down, and that will give me my starting point for the flowers. So let's check back. I'm gonna draw them on and apply the leaf. So let's check back and see what that's done. All right, now that my gears are sketched in and you can see my, under, over, what I am trying to accomplish, I can go in and I am going to put down my adhesive and put down the champagne gold leaf, and we'll see what this looks like when this part is done. So let's check back. All right, friends, here is the next update. The gears are finished. Now, for the most part, the process went well. This is a new brand of leaf that I'm using, and I'm not sure I like it because it behaves a lot more like foil, and it sticks to the canvas for no good reason. Exhibit A, where's my finger? Right here. Pardon the shadow. So that's going to get covered with the flowers, I guess. But I did 6 individual gears in this champagne gold that I had outlined in, ooh, it's terrible shadow, a Liquitex brand antique gold pen. And you know what? I like the fact that I went with smaller gears. I like that there are 6 of them. So let's start adding the flowers. Now I'll do my best to get that, on camera. But again, this is the technique that AB Creative, at least hers is the channel that I've been watching. And she's wicked good at it. So let's check back. All right, so what I did was draw in these flowers, frangipani or plumeria, I guess. I chose them because I really kind of dig the spiral. So I have 3 that are kind of overlapping that I did in my softest pencil, my softest lead. And then I went over it with my white Posca just so I could have an outline. And I did the exact same thing up here. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that because the metal leafing already makes it kind of busy enough. And I wanna make sure I'm practicing some self-editing. So the next thing I'm gonna do is, try to get the gesso down. I'll try and get that set up so you can see, but basically I'm just gonna scoop it into a Ziploc bag and cut off the tip and pipe it. And we'll see how that goes because I've never done that before. So let's check back. All right, guys. Well, it looks like all of those years watching the Food Network has paid off. So I managed to get my 3 flowers down and smooth-ish and, lines to kind of lead the eye towards the center of each flower. I have 1 more to do up here, and I figure I'll get myself set up on my tripod and I'll let you guys take a gander. So let me get set up. I'll see you back here in a minute. All right, guys, I know it is tough to see, but there is my outline that I did go over. I sketched in with the soft lead and then went over it with the white Posca just so I could see. So I have a Ziploc bag. Actually, it's a double Ziploc bag. Filled with my gesso. I have a little bit snipped off, and I'm just going to pipe it in and use a brush to help smooth it out. I find that having your brush resting in water helps because you definitely want it damp, not soaking wet, but damp. So let's get started with this last one. Let's see if I can sit down and not kick everything. All right, so whenever, if you've never piped anything, and I actually do cook, you want to squeeze from the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the back flower first and then work my way forward, I think. All right. And you just want the rough outline. Let gravity help. And it doesn't need to be perfect because we can smooth it out with our brush and our skewer. So put in a little bit. We've got a flat brush. And all we do is just start sweeping in, and you can kind of shape it to the outline as you go. And then the parts of the petals that are supposed to be upturned, you know, I stopped stressing about that with the first one. It's going to be what it's going to be. But the skewer definitely helps with the lines. And if you find, if you ever decide to try this, that you've got too much gesso, just scoop it off and put it back in, put it back in the container. I know that, you know, this is the first time I'm trying this, but it's pretty evident that even if you are a novice such as myself trying to do something like this, this is actually fairly forgiving. Now, I might have taken too much out. But once you get the outline done, you just kind of fiddle with it until it looks right. And you want to try and get as uniform a thickness as possible. That is something I've yet to get the knack of. But yeah, just dragging. And the bristles of the brush will help create lines. And then when you're done, you can go back in with the skewer and refine that. So see, that's one down already. So I wipe off the excess, put it back in the water, which you can't see, and then we grab our bag and we move on. Just like that. So I'm gonna fast forward this for you because this is gonna take me a while. So let's get it started. Let's get it finished.
Like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom.
All right, guys. So that is that. All I'm gonna do now is go in with my little skewer here and just gonna define the petals a little more, and then I'm gonna wait 24 hours and then we can paint it. So let's check back and see what this looks like when it is dry. All right, well, it's been 24 hours and this is dry. Now, if I had to do this over again, I would not have made all of these lines. You know, I think I just would have left it smooth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with a flat brush and I am going to paint this in iridescent white. And then I think I'm gonna go in with a lighter Naples Yellow and just put a little bit of color in the center. And I'm gonna do the same thing up there, and then we are gonna call it a day. So let's check back and see what this looks like all finished. Okay, final results. And guys, I friggin' love this. So you can see that I just did some really rudimentary shading with the Artist Loft Naples Yellow, the Liquitex Naples Yellow, which is the darker, some iridescent white, and a little bit of gray. Now up close, you know, it's not all that great, but from a distance, it gets the job done, you know, and I basically did the exact same thing over here. So I think this adds just a wonderful bit of softness to this piece. You know, the palette itself is kind of soft. The champagne gears make it, you know, a little bit more, I don't know, gives it a little bit more of an edge, but the flowers really just soften it up. So I am super thrilled with this. So yay. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This concludes my Heavenly Gear series, and this was a lot of fun. I learned a whole lot about some different color palettes and some self-editing when it comes to the metal leafing. So all in all, I do consider this to be a grand success. So thanks for coming along. You know, if you're new and you like what you see, please consider hitting the subscribe and hitting the thumbs up. That really does help. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified of when I upload new content. Please feel free to share this on your own social media. That would also be a big help. You can also leave a comment. I love getting the feedback. So this piece, when it's all, you know, varnished and ready to go, will be available for purchase. As is all of my other work. You can find that on my Instagram or Facebook under Bears Den Acrylic Art. You can message me through those platforms if you're interested or if you have a question, or you can email me directly at bear@bearsdenacrylicart.com. All right, my friends, I will see you back with the next video. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.